Hello everyone, I am Jade, Ullrich, a clinical dietitian here at KSB Hospital, and thank you so much for tuning in for this nutrition presentation today on high fiber grains, brown rice, and wild rice. So first off, what is rice? Rice is a main staple in more than 100 countries worldwide. The scientific name for rice is Ariza, and Ariza sativa is the most common species of rice, there are over 1,000 types of rice which can differ in size, thickness, stickiness, color, aroma, and flavor. Rice is often broadly categorized based on its shape or method of processing, such as long, short, or medium grain, which refers to the length and width of the rice after cooking. So long grains have a slender kernel over 4 times as long as they are wide. When cooked, long grain rice stays separate and fluffy, such as jasmine and basmati rice. Medium grain rice has a shorter, wider kernel, yielding a tender and semi-sticky consistency when cooked, such as arborio rice. And short grain rice has a kernel only twice as long as they are wide and yields the stickiest texture when cooked, such as rice that's used in sushi. And wild rice, however, is not in the same family as Ariza sativa. It is actually a seed from a grassy aquatic plant. So brown rice is the typical whole grain rice that we think of, though the name brown rice describes its color rather than its shape. However, whole grain rice is not limited to just one color. It also comes in black, purple, and red. Whole grain rice typically takes longer to cook due to the fibrous bran layer and nutrients-rich germ layer, and have a nuttier and chewier texture than refined white rice. Many varieties of rice, including arborio, basmati, and jasmine rice, are available in both brown and white versions. So next we have the health benefits of both brown and wild rice. So whole grains like brown and wild rice are healthier than processed grains as they contain all 3 parts of the grain, which are the bran, germ, and endosperm. So they contain more fiber, which helps you feel full for longer. So refined rice, which is the rice that has had the bran and germ removed, so that only the starchy white endosperm remains, hence the name white rice. The milling and polishing process removes the majority of naturally occurring B vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, and fiber. So B vitamins and iron are added back in. However, only a fraction of the original amount of these nutrients is added back. So 1 cup of cooked long grain brown rice has more than 3 grams of fiber versus less than 1 gram of fiber in 1 cup of cooked long grain rice or white rice. So wild rice is slightly higher in protein than most other grains and is a good source of fiber, folate, magnesium, phosphorus, manganese, zinc, vitamin B6, and niacin, so a variety of nutrients. So next I have some cooking tips. To prepare rice, rinse in cool water until it runs clear to remove excess starch. Keep in mind that excess rinsing may remove some of the water-soluble B vitamins, especially for polished, enriched white rice, in which the vitamins have been sprayed onto the surface of the grain. So rice is typically boiled in water or it can be steamed. So long grain varieties tend to produce fluffy, separated grains after cooking, while the short or medium grains become more sticky. So follow package directions, as different varieties of rice require differing amounts of water and cooking times. So generally, rice is cooked in a saucepan that is brought to a boil and then simmered. White rice usually simmers for about 20 minutes, whereas brown rice or other minimally processed varieties usually simmer for about 40 to 45 minutes, so a little bit longer. So then the rice is removed from the heat and allowed to steam in the covered pot for about 5 to 10 minutes, then fluff with the fork to separate the grains. Wild rice, however, simmers for about 35 to 50 minutes, and then also bursts open when it's cooked, so you can easily tell when it's done. So for extra flavor, you can use low sodium chicken or vegetable broth instead of water while cooking, or add spices to the cooking water. However, if you're using fresh chopped herbs, such as chopped parsley, dill, or chives, gently stir them into the cooked rice after it is removed from the heat, but is still steaming in the pot. All right, and then here are some easy ways to use cooked rice or leftover rice. So you can saute chopped vegetables and cooked meat or tofu in a pan, then add cooked rice and then stir together. You can also add rice to soup to add bulk. You can also add a handful of cooked rice to a salad. Or for an easy vegan rice bowl, mix together 1 cup of cooked rice, half cup of cooked beans, half cup of salsa, and a handful of greens. Rice is also a great base in curries, stir fries, risottos, and rice pudding. I have also provided some recipes including wild rice crusted salmon, wild rice apple salad, egg and brown rice breakfast bowl, and white beans, wild rice, and mushrooms, which those will be provided in the link in the description of this video. So thank you so much for tuning in for this nutrition presentation on high fiber grains, brown rice, and wild rice. I hope you learned a little bit more about brown rice and wild rice, including their health benefits, cooking tips, and some recipes. So thank you so much and have a good night.